If you've been paying any attention to business trends over the last few years, you've heard the term design thinking. But what is design thinking? I think when most people think of design, they think of a Noguchi coffee table, or maybe of an iPhone application, the graphic design of an iPhone application. What is this design thinking? I think to understand that, we have to go back to the definition of innovation. Innovation is a new match between solution and need. There has to be something new about it, but innovation brings together solution and need. Now, if you think about it, there are two ways you can come at innovation. You can take the push approach, in which you start with a solution and go look for a need. So for instance, the current proponents of blockchain have a solution and they're now looking for applications of blockchain. That's the push approach. Or you could take the pull approach and you can start with the need and pull a solution. So for instance, how might I prevent myself from touching my face in order to better control infection? That starts with the need and looks to pull a solution. Design is simply innovation when pulling from needs. Okay, well, that's what design is. But what's this design thinking? Mostly, I think design thinking is really just design. But we call it design thinking when it's applied to problems that we don't normally think of as being the focus of design. So for instance, if we're trying to improve payroll processing or reduce infection or improve the efficiency of supply chains, we often don't think of those as design problems, but they really are design problems in that they start with a need and we're trying to pull a solution. So by my definition, design thinking is simply design when applied to things that we don't normally think of as being designed. There's actually just a little bit more than that, because I think those of you who have hung around professional designers recognize that there's some cultural norms that are quite special. What are they? The first is a careful definition of solving the right problem. And so we're going to spend quite a bit of time in this course on problem definition. Next, there's a user orientation, and in particular, an empathic approach to understanding users and customers. Third, I think there's a bias for action, for just trying some things, and a culture of rapid prototyping and testing. Next, I think most professional designers have very good visual expression skills. They're good at communicating ideas and solution, and that's a hallmark of design thinking. And lastly, I would say that designers they're optimists. There's a culture of yes and, recognizing a problem and immediately thinking we can solve that. And those are all values that I think serve us well when addressing any problem in business.